Welcome, everyone, to the HYTORC Solution Series. Today, we're going to talk about training, and I am joined by, once again, HYTORC President Eric Junkers. I am Tony Marino, and thank you again for tuning in. As we continue with the Solution Series here, it's really about providing information that you need to make decisions. You as the customer, and HYTORC's providing those resources so that you can make decisions. And let's talk about training and the impact of training today, Eric. And let's start with where we start with everything at HYTORC, from the beginning to what it's measured against, and that's the HYTORC standard.
Yeah, everything comes back to that. We're always looking to find ways to enhance the job quality, job safety, and job schedule. That's really what our entire focus is on. And we do that through our technology, our equipment quality, and our support. And that's really the entire approach to us. Whenever we're developing a service or innovating a product or what have you, it always is about that. And so we're looking to check those boxes. And with training, it's an absolutely big part of that. It contributes greatly towards that overall effort, towards that overall mission. And it's exciting for us to be able to talk about some of the latest developments of it with you here today.
Yeah, and of course, you guys, all of you out there are facing challenges. There are plenty of challenges. It's HYTORC's job to put the solutions out there for you. The solutions today we're talking about, of course, is training. So as we jump into this, Eric, take us back to when you guys first talk about why training is needed. That's really what is the launching pad for today. We've got the standard, what you need to meet. Talk about training and why it was so important to this company, to HYTORC.
Yeah, our equipment, it is high-powered equipment. These are industrial bolting tools. These are pieces of equipment that really need to be understood and need to be cared about and considered. And so, we've always provided some form of training, and we felt that contributed well to the overall job safety, towards the overall, worker competency, and that contributed towards, decreasing job time, improving the job quality, so forth and so on. And so, this is something that much of it was done by our representatives out in the field. And, about 15 years ago, we really decided that it was something we wanted to formalize, and we wanted to really dedicate personnel, facilities towards it, and work with key groups to develop curriculum to really take it further than just the sort of basic courses that we have been offering. And what's developed over the years has really been exciting.
And that's where the HYTORC Bolting Institute really came about.
That's exactly right, and that's the name we gave it. And we've put a lot into it over these years, a lot of investments, a lot of personnel now associated with it on a worldwide basis. And the offering that they have now is extremely comprehensive. It's extremely vast, and it's something that many of our customers are taking advantage of.
Well, let's take a look into certainly what is being offered. You guys have put it together, whether it's HBI training, you've got the safe operator training, which is, of course, going to come with the purchase. That's something you guys put into effect early on, too, is making sure that they have the training, gets back to efficiency. You just talked about that. But these are the types of training that you offer everybody out there.
Yeah, this is a general sort of basic overview of what it is that we do. So you have the training with purchase, that's automatic. That's been that way since 1968. That was a part of really our founding. We are going to train our customers on their equipment to help them to safely and effectively use it. And that still continues to this day. It's pretty straightforward. It lasts a few hours. It goes over the tool training and just also provides you with first use supervision just to make sure that you know what you're doing with the equipment. Going further than that, that's where really HBI comes in. And it takes things several steps forward with a variety of different classes arranged with the customer. You can see examples of it here. And it can last from a few hours to a few days. So really, and everything in between. So that was really that big step for us. We were always offering the training with purchase, and we found it to be very valuable, but we felt really giving our customers a deeper understanding, a more intimate understanding of the industrial bolting world can absolutely contribute to a safer and more effective workplace.
And again, you guys went and you put together a variety that was out there that you can offer, and you made sure, especially during these times that we're facing, that you were able to make it virtually available.
Yeah, that was big. We had to come up with a way to provide our training courses despite the fact that of the obvious challenges that were in front of us. We weren't able to get out on site like we used to do. That's really how almost all of our training courses were conducted on site, in person, with a group of people. And we said during this time, we have to really accelerate the program of offering this remotely. We had done it here and there, but nothing really expansive. And so we did just that. Our team really came through in a tremendous way. And, our offering is very expansive, very comprehensive, and it really can be performed anywhere at any time. And our customers are really appreciating it, which makes a lot of sense because at times it's hard to get everyone under one roof at the same time, and this allows them flexibility, and that's what we're all about. And so, we're excited to offer this, and we know it's going to be a permanent part of our offering as we move forward.
Well, we've got the HYTORC standard, which is something that you said here, and everything's measured against. We talked about that. But there are standards out there that are in the field. There are industry standards. And for that, you have to reach out to your partners, and you have to work with them, and they can help certainly set up and work with them on the training.
Yeah, part of HBI and the development and formation of HBI was about really lending some or developing some credibility for our training courses beyond just, okay, we're bolting specialists, we're providing a course, but we can appreciate, we're selling equipment, we're providing the course to it. We want to associate ourselves with the top names in industry, with groups that really apply standards to industry. And we did just that over the years. And we developed curriculum alongside of them that goes over the industrial bolting world in a very, very objective, comprehensive fashion. And that was really important to us. And you can see some examples of that here. Our basic Introduction to Bolting series, basics, you see the course that, or the certificate that you get with it. And then it goes further where we've associated with OSHA. Everybody knows OSHA. And we've worked with them on developing really the first of its kind industrial bolting specific training course. And the same goes for ASME with the QBS course, the Qualified Bolting Specialist. First of its kind, bolting specific training course, really a big step forward. And that was hugely important to us because we felt that there was a real need for this. There was nothing that covered that space for industrial bolting within really industry. And so we're now doing it in a big way. And as you can see here on this slide, the courses include professional development hours. So that was very important to us as well, that we can really provide these professionals and these individuals that are taking the course with these PDHs and that they desire, and we can do just that.
It's the models out there is for whether it be high school academies, prep schools, or certainly universities are doing the same thing. You make sure you partner with the experts in the field to create experts, which is what your employees can be. They have to go through this. They're the experts out there, and they make those companies better. Why don't you take us through this series and start with basic bolting?
Yeah, all of these courses are designed to enhance the competency, enhance worker safety, and really that will really do big things for the efficiency of the job. And that's something that it doesn't matter which course you end up choosing, but really it depends on your needs. Really, that's what it all comes down to, and that's what it is we would work with you on. So to start out with here, you've got our really basic bolting series, and this is something that's entry level for everyone. And again, it's something that, it's 1 hour, it's pretty straightforward, can be done in person or online. Obviously, as mentioned before, a very important aspect of this, and it does come with that professional development hour. There are different courses that you could see on that slide that you can choose from. Again, we'll work with you on that, we'll develop it. Going forward into the tool training series, we have, over the years, we started out with just hydraulic bolting equipment. That's what really got us started as a company. Since then, we've developed air tools, battery tools, electric tools, fasteners. And so what we wanted to do and what HBI has done over the years is really break them apart into their own training series to give one a very deep understanding of the tools that they're going to be using. And that's what that's all about here. So you can see all the different products, all the different lines, and again, 1 to 2 hours in person or online. Then, going further, again, just kind of a snapshot of the different offering. This is that safe bolting for assemblers, operators, and technicians. And that's, as previously mentioned, that OSHA course. This is a part of that. It's an 8-hour course, in person or online. OSHA, the Safe Bolting Principles and Practice, that's an in-person class. That's something we've been offering for a number of years. And then you've got the HBI Principles and Practices of Safe Bolting. That can be done online or in person. So really, that's the different offerings there. And there's different tracks that you can take, whether it's pressure vessels and piping, structural bolting, mechanical connections. We really wanted to go in deep and give our customers a variety of different choices in order to really ensure that the training was as effective as possible. If you give this blanket sort of training that's not specific, that's not really diving into the world that our customers find themselves in, we felt that it's a little watered down. And so we've really taken a lot of effort into really making it specific as possible.
And that's making sure that they have an opportunity for whatever that, your customers need out there. It's again, offering that. Somebody is not going to want to come in at the basic bolting. Well, here's something else we can offer. And that's here with this bolting specialist series, the same thing. Maybe they don't need that basic bolting. This is where they need to dive into this.
Yeah, we do take a lot of feedback from the field. And so all of these courses are about the feedback we receive. And one of them was really those higher end type of courses for specialists, QC, quality control supervisors, groups like that, titles like that. And as you can see, this is a very comprehensive, very deep course, 2.5 days. This is that ASME course that we talked about. It can be done online or in person. And you can see the variety that are offered by the ASME ones, Qualified Bolting Specialists, Hands-on Learning and Skills Assessment, and then the ones by HBI. So, it's really just about listening and taking that feedback and then applying it. And that's what we've done here.
I think you go back to what we were talking about before, is working with the experts as well, working with those, whether it was Texas A&M, as you pointed out, those standards that are out there with OSHA, ASME, making sure that you're working with them to stay up to date so that you can offer the best education to the people that you're training.
Yeah, and this is another example of that here. This one goes for engineers and professionals, 1 or 2 days in person or online. Comes complete with a certificate, and this is the ASME bolted joint assembly per PCC1, which everyone is generally familiar with the guidelines for pressure vessels, and then the HBI bolting professional course. So, again, this is that snapshot for you. This is giving one an understanding of, okay, the variety that we offer. These are very popular courses, but there's a lot in between there, and that's again where a conversation would really kick things off and get things going on, is that we discuss what it is you're looking for, what are you hoping to accomplish, what are your training needs, and then we'll develop something that's in accordance with that. And that's it may be one of these, it may be something different. It's highly customizable, and that's something that is really a major part of this.
Well, one way you're able to customize, of course, is hearing from those that are out in the field. And we wanted to bring that to you. It's not just us sitting here talking about giving you that overview. It's going out in the field and hearing about how training is having an impact on our customers. And for that, we were able to catch up earlier with Casey Anderson.
And joining us now is the Service and Training Manager for HYTORC Penn, Ohio. That's Casey Anderson. Casey, thanks so much for joining us today. Let's kick it off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and, of course, your involvement with HYTORC.
Perfect. Hi, Tony. I'm so happy that you had me. Thank you. Yes, so a little bit about myself. Again, I'm the Service and Training Manager for HYTORC Penn, Ohio. My background specifically is mostly with the United States Air Force. So I joined the Air Force right out of school, served 12 years of active service all over the world. And I was transitioning from active duty into the reserves part-time, and my father and brother offered me the opportunity to come work with them on their team. My dad, Charlie Foy, started HYTORC Penn, Ohio, selling and repairing the tools out of our garage about 25 years ago. So since I've been around the tools my entire life, it seemed like a really good fit for me. So I came over. I've been with the team now about 2.5 years. With one hat, what I do is I go out to customers and provide them the basic operational tool safety classes, and as well as the OSHA 7110 safe bolting certification courses.
Casey, why don't you tell us about the latest, many projects out there I'm sure you're working with. Why don't you talk about one of the more larger scale projects you're currently working on?
It's a petrochemical plant, 5-year construction, being built in the exact county that I was born and raised in. So this is actually a very exciting thing that's pretty personal to me as well. And just seeing what this project has done for the community and the economy. That project currently is bringing in 6,000 jobs to the area in its construction. They are ramping up, and at its peak here after the new year, we'll have about 8,000 men and women employed working through that 5-year construction project.
So a lot of opportunities there, obviously. Talk about that training and how it's helped improve customer safety on that project.
Oh, absolutely. So this specific customer is very invested in the quality and the training specifically of their employees. So they are very invested in making sure that everyone that is touching any piece of equipment is competent, feels comfortable, and has been through a very thorough training program. I have taught everyone from pipe fitters, steam fitters, millwrights, boiler makers, and engineers there on site. So basically, if they are coming in contact with the tool, they have an initial 8-hour block that walks them through cradle to grave how to safely operate that tool and all of the bolting basics.
And Casey, it sounds like you have a customer here that understands how safety impacts their customer quality and the output that they have. Why don't you talk about how they've accepted training and how it impacts their customer quality?
Yeah, absolutely. So with the training that we do, we talk about everything from gaskets. What are the proper gaskets to use in which systems? Why do gaskets fail? What is the result of them failing? Why do we use lubrication on bolts, and what is the importance of that? And I think equipping all of their personnel with this knowledge base, right, and then sending them out into the field to do their jobs, it's really the output, the level of quality in their work has a direct correlation to that training that we're giving them when we talk about quality.
And of course, another aspect of that is keeping them on schedule. If they can keep on schedule, less downtime, and training has had an impact there as well.
Absolutely. So when we talk about keeping them on schedule, our team is giving them HYTORC quality training right there on site. So I go to them, I do at least 1 to 2 classes every month with 20 people in class coming to them. So that's probably a big advantage of that support that directly correlates to keeping them on schedule as well. I think too, with the amount of people that they are putting through this training and the diverse crafts that they are training, like I said, pipe fitters, steam fitters, millwrights, boiler makers, engineers, they now have this large pool of personnel that anytime there is a deviation in the work, they can pick someone up that is qualified, that feels comfortable touching the tools, that can safely operate the tools, and they can plug and play them in any aspect of that operation, which I think, you know, probably has a direct correlation to keeping that job right on schedule.
Casey, thank you so much for your time. Keep up your great work.
Thank you for having me, Tony.
Want to thank Casey for her time. And now let's fly overseas, if we will, to South Africa. And that's where Ardell Van Wyck was able to catch up with us earlier.
And we'll span the globe here in the HYTORC Solutions series as we continue to talk about training. And joining us now from HYTORC South Africa, that's Ardell Van Wyck. And Ardell, thank you so much for joining us today. Why don't you tell myself and the audience a little bit about yourself and your background?
Oh, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to everybody around the world. My name is Ardell Van Wyck, and I've been with HYTORC just a little over 8 years now. Prior to that, I've had extensive, work experience in terms of the mechanical engineering industry. I have worked with high pressure hydraulics, and from building circuits to actually troubleshooting circuits and repairing them. And I've dabbled here and there in electronics, but I mean, the greatest challenge came when I started working for HYTORC. As we all know, it's a specialized industry.
So we're talking about training today, and I know you're working on multiple projects at one time, certainly throughout your career, hundreds of projects. Why don't you tell us about a project where training really made a difference?
I mean, where doesn't training make a difference? I mean, that's I think this is the valid question here. But I mean, if I had to, bring it down to just one particular incident, one of the largest oil and gas companies here in South Africa, they have a company that comes and subs out, or rather, they do all their bolting. And these guys have been in and out of our training center, ensuring that they working according to the ASME PCC1. I've worked with some of the training leaders and got them certified as ASME bolting specialists. And yeah, they've actually gone on to open their own bolt integrity, a joint integrity division. And the leaders come through our training center for training. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of what it's done for them, it's drastically reduced the amount of breakages that they've had on tools in recent times. It's drastically reduced the amount of injuries that they've had. The guys now understand the safety part of utilizing the tool. They understand having these types of tooling and what it actually means. I mean, the convenience of having this tooling. You know, there's a saying that, you know, if you wouldn't appreciate the convenience of your car until you have to stand in the subway or take a bus. But these guys are now appreciating the value that the tool is bringing in terms of completing their work a lot quicker, you know, also getting quality work. At the end of the day, in the oil and gas industry, a leak-free start is gold. And this is something that's been happening constantly. The subcontractor for this major oil company here in South Africa have taken the bolting world with the help of HYTORC and their training, and they've turned it into some sort of an art.
And you know, you touched on safety, quality, job schedule. This is where training comes in and has an impact on all that. That's what we've been talking about here today. Why don't you dive a little bit deeper into that safety, because it's really getting companies that you're working with to understand how the training can impact safety. You have an example of that?
Well, I mean, again, when we speak about safety, we talk about overall safety. And with a near miss on a job site, this is considered, you know, an almost accident. And when it comes to our tools, what we've done at HYTORC is by actually designing and developing all these different types of accessories and fixtures attached, like, for example, the HYTORC washer, you know, it makes training a lot easier in terms of keeping the guys' hands away from the reaction points, you know, and the different pinch points that are attached to tools with these different types. So safety-wise, you know, a checklist in the morning, you know, when you're taking this tool out, a brief safety talk. With this company as well, I went out and done some safety procedures with the guys, wrote out what they need to look for on the tool, how they need to go about testing the tool before it actually even gets onto the job site. Check for leaks, check your couplers for any dirt and stuff like that. So training, you know, applies to all that, and it's there to make sure that these guys understand that safety is your #1 priority when it comes to utilizing these tools.
And how has the training affected customer quality?
Uh, Tremendously. I mean, just with our sales agents alone, they can testify and tell you that their customers are now more satisfied with the amount of quality that is being produced by their technicians on site. Less go comebacks. Sometimes when we talk about the likes of gasket creep, yeah, you got to go back to the flange or the application again and tighten it up. But apart from that, a leak-free startup, you know, with regards to the quality of it that these guys are now producing, with the constant training that we're offering them, because we do go back after a year and say, hey guys, listen, it's been a year, you guys need to come out. There's some new products in the market. We know that you've purchased some new tooling, but we just want to make sure that you guys are utilizing it correctly so that the quality can shine through.
There's the safety, there's the quality, and the result is that job schedule. You know, tell us about that and how that training has impacted the job schedule, because to me, that's something that I'm sure speaks to the person that's running that job and the project is, how does it impact my job schedule?
Well, of course, yeah. Well, schedule, again, it's faster operating tools. But when we start talking about parallel joint closure and using multiple tools on an application, we cutting down job time by, you know, a quarter of the time. So when we actually do go out and train these guys and show them the possibilities that are attached with the HYTORC tooling, they look at it and go, whoa, now hang on. This is something I can utilize. And instead of using 4 guys on a single application, I can use 2 guys on the one application and the other 2 guys on the other application and get both jobs completed, you know, ahead of schedule, you know, and yeah, who isn't happy about that?
Ardell, thank you so much for taking some time and joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Only a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And some great insights there by Casey and Ardil as we took a look out in the field. As you can see, they're getting feedback about what's going on with the training out there, and that's really having an impact on the training solutions that you get here from HYTORC. Eric, as we move along here, you guys have always gone back to the board and said, all right, what's new? What can we offer our customers? Earlier this year, it was High Care. This is certainly a great program. And then you guys said, all right, with training, what's the new part? What's new that we can offer our customers? And that's where we came up with Hightrain.
Yeah, the High Care program was something we set up earlier this year, and it was really all about after-sales support. So offering our customers a higher level of after-sales support involving a variety of different approaches, mobile service and things like that. And really what it came down to is having the infrastructure in place worldwide with service professionals, people that were dedicated to service, so that we could offer something like that on a wide level. And that is something, again, we offered at the beginning of this year. Now we looked at our training team and we had that same sort of situation occur where we said, okay, we have the general infrastructure, the general foundation in place to start to offer something a little more formalized, something that similar to High Care, if you're familiar with that. So that's exactly what you see here. So you have what we're calling Hightrain. It has a few different levels, and the levels have different offerings, and really that's what it comes down to, from the different types of courses that are offered there, discounts, so forth and so on. Details are forthcoming. We're really excited. This is brand new, hot off the press here, and it's something that you're going to be hearing a lot from us as we get into the end of this year and into 2021.
Yeah, certainly it can be formalized. Here's a formalized version of it, but everything you can customize to. You work with your customers. That's a tradition here at HYTORC that I think all of your customers know. Why don't you tell us about the Bolting Consulting Series?
Yeah, that's definitely something that is an expansion of our offering that we're really excited to develop, sort of in conjunction with Hightrain. We've offered this before. We've worked with our customers at this type of level, but basically what it's doing is it's rounding off things nicely. We have the training and the support from the get-go, where we will provide, as mentioned earlier, that basic tooling training course upon purchase, and then obviously the variety that HBI offers if that's something you would like to do. But this goes into really as the maintenance approaches, as the work approaches, what it is that we can do for you, how it is we can work with you on your procedures and enhancing the overall work, and looking at different areas here, doing a free survey, really looking at the different equipment and coming to you with suggestions and recommendations on some of the technology that we offer. And so, in our opinion, this rounds it off very well. And again, it can be done in a variety of different ways. There's no one-size-fits-all model, as mentioned here, in person or online. That's all possible. We've provided surveys online over remote and virtually, and that was something different. But it was great because sometimes it's hard to get out to these sites under any circumstances, let alone a pandemic. So that was great, and it's an interesting, I feel, offering and expansion of our program that really does round it off well, and we're excited to unveil it. And we think our customers will really find this to be very valuable, as it does provide that little bit extra, where we kind of take things to the finish line with them.
Yeah, and certainly I think that's something that they're used to. You've got the demonstration center. In fact, here at the Mahwah headquarters, you put this together. This is so that they can watch. They need to watch virtually. They can see this. That was one of the offerings that you made part of this program.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we have always tried to provide our customers with a level of understanding of the tools, before they make a commitment to us. That's a big part of what it is we do, and the on-site demonstration is really what that's all about. We've been doing that for 52 years since our foundation, and obviously this situation, sent that for a bit of a loop. And so what we did is we invested in ourselves here to be able to still provide those very important demonstrations, to give our customers a very keen understanding of the equipment, how it works, what it is that it can do for them, but do it in a virtual fashion. And there's a great example of that. So, tool demonstrations, bolting methods, individual instruction, all possible in our studio in-house in Mahwah, New Jersey.
And that's what we talked about virtual, and for obvious reasons, that's a lot of your customers are looking for that right now, but you do offer in person and you do make sure that it's safe.
Absolutely. We have some examples of different training courses that we provided in 2020 here. And it depends on a number of factors, the comfortability of our customers, what it is they're looking for, and we'll adhere to it. We'll customize it in accordance with that. So, you've got the types of trainings that are highly customizable, as we've mentioned before, and then you've got the means with which we deliver those trainings, which is highly customizable. So I think that makes for a very interesting and unique approach to training. And that's really a lot of what this discussion here has been about.
No, certainly. And, one thing we want to make sure that everybody knows, the resources. Where do you start? Well, certainly you can reach out, you can call, take a look on the website. There are resources there that can help you make the decision what fits for your business.
Yep. HYTORC.com/training. Everything can be found there. You can find out just basic information on the different courses as we've discussed here. More details than obviously we've been able to discuss in a brief overview here, as well as schedules. You can find out different classes that are being conducted, and it's really something that we put a lot of time and effort into to make it as thorough as possible, to give one a very good overview of the HYTORC Bolting Institute, the training arm of HYTORC.
Well, that is going to be a wrap for today's HYTORC Solution Series and the training portion. We do certainly, though, want to remind you to stay tuned here. Check out the website. Check us out on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. We'll tell you when the next Solution Series events is. For Eric Younkers, I'm Tony Marino, wishing everyone a happy holiday season, and certainly everybody will be happy to say Happy New Year.